Welcome to our session today. My name is Ian Price. I'm the Innovation Strategist for Technology for Living, and I'm so excited to be here with Wayne Pogue, our Biomed team lead.
Yeah, thanks, Ian, for that introduction. And before we get started, I think we just need to thank the Disability Foundation for inviting us again. We did one of these months ago, and Ian and I had a ton of fun talking technology, and we kind of did spin off that a little bit, Ian, and we'll talk about that later. But yeah, let's get started.
Fantastic.
All right, so TIL is a member-driven program. We're just going to go over this quickly. I know we did this last time, but it's a member-driven program that provides assistive devices and home automation for people living within their homes, just trying to make their lives as independent as they want them to be. They're provided at no cost, all our services, so that includes assessment from our techs, installation, the equipment itself, and any service or repair replacement that needs to be done in the future. And yeah, this is probably a little bit dated, Ian, but I think we have well over 650 members now. So so the program is growing, and it's kind of exciting for us.
Definitely. And the eligibility criteria is pretty straightforward. If you're 19 years or older, live in your home, have a limited mobility, something like myself, I have muscular dystrophy, live in BC. I think that a lot of people are the first question they ask is, am I eligible? And honestly, yes is usually the answer. It can be spinal cord injury, ALS, MS, honestly, you name it. It does. Yeah. We have a number of different member driven all over BC, and I think that yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and also it doesn't mention it there, but it's not dependent on funding either, right? Like if we don't look at your income or anything, if you have limited mobility and could use TIL assistance and to live more independently in BC, then we're happy to help. All right, so what's next? So you decide that TIL might be a benefit to you, whether you know 100% for sure or not. Always best to apply. So go to our website. There's the application form under the Technology for Independent Living program, and we will have the website at the end as well on the last screen. But yeah, fill in the application. Typically, we like to also have an occupational therapist involved. We can kind of work alongside them, alongside you, alongside your whole care team to figure out what's going to be best for your environment and what's going to be easiest for you to use. And as part of that assessment, we do have a group of techs, whether that be an in-home assessment or we're moving more and more to like this, the Zoom meeting assessment, so we can get these assessments done very quickly now that it's online. And then installation will either come into the home and help you install if that's feasible, or again, we can have a tech work with you and your care team to set things up kind of at a distance. So, and then follow up again, like we said, we're always here for you.
So last time we spoke about some of the more entry level smart home devices, such as lights, smart plugs, thermostats, etc. Just so that we're not reiterating, we brought a whole bunch of new and exciting devices to the table here that we're so excited to show everybody.
Yeah, I mean this equipment's changing so quickly. It isn't, Ian, that we were excited about this stuff last time. We still are, but there's so much more that's being tested and utilized now. So let's get into it. So the first thing we want to talk about, and I don't know if we touched on this last time, Ian, or not, but it's the smart blinds and smart shades. And it really doesn't matter if you have the tilt wand, which you see on the left there, or more of a beaded or cord system for your blinds. There is a company that we use, Soma, and Soma Tilt and Soma Smart Shades, out of all places, Estonia, and they make a great product. It's become easier to install with their newer iterations. But yeah, we use them, and they work very well through Google and Alexa, and your smartphone.
Absolutely. And I think that something that's new with these devices is you can set it up for sunrise and sunset. The app and the installation process and the reliability has definitely improved over the last year. So they're moving in the right direction. They're really wonderful products.
And our members obviously love them. We go through these things like hotcakes. They're very valued by our members, and just being able to let the light in the morning, right? And I know you've got a couple of these, don't you?
I do, and I love that on these sunny days here, I don't feel so isolated being locked in my house here. So this it gives me a little escape, which I think everybody needs right now.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next, Ian, let's move on to the window opener. So this is something. So Ian, you got in contact with Daniel at Valor Systems out of the United States, and we've been looking for ways to open and close windows, and there hasn't really been anything out there yet. But Daniel was more than happy to send us a test unit. We got it in here last week, and it does a really nice job of just the functionality of it. I mean, I've only bench tested it because we don't have it set up on a window quite yet. But once it's set up, it works really well. They do have a little bit of ways to go in terms of the setup process. And I think they have a new app in the App Store coming any day now, which should make that a lot easier. But overall, it seems to be well made. A little bit time consuming to set up, but once it's set up, I think it's going to work fine. It's quite powerful, and they've got all the safety features in place. If something's in the way of the window, it'll sense that and stop and reverse itself. So we're excited about this one.
Definitely. And Wayne, correct me if I'm wrong, but for the install process, I don't think you have to bolt it down or anything too invasive or too damaging to the existing window seal.
Yeah, there is. I mean, it connects to the window itself with just a 3M tape, a double tape. And then on both ends, so on this end and this end, there's the option of using screws, bolting it down, or again, double tape. And just depends how you want that mounted. A lot of people don't like the double tape because it tends to take off the paint a little bit. But yeah, there's a couple ways of doing that, and yeah.
I'm excited to try it.
I think they also have on their website, you can see they also have a blind control where the motor is actually built into the curtain rod, or curtain control, sorry. And they're also working on a opener for sliding doors, so like your heavy patio sliding doors. So that might be something that's coming down the road here in a few months. Hopefully they get going on those as well. All right, let's move on. Ian, your Switchbots.
Yes, I love this company. They're the ones that created the little finger device that we touched upon last time, I believe, and I've been speaking about it very highly for the last year or so. This is their newest product, the Switchbot curtain. Essentially, you can clip it onto your existing rod, and it moves back and forth by voice. You can tug on it to initiate the curtain to open and close. It's a really great product. I know I've had it in my home for about a month or so, and I really like it.
Yeah, I think you touched on one thing that I love about it is that the ability to just slightly pull on the curtain. So if you have a caregiver there and you're used to using your voice or whatever else to open and close your curtains, they can just slightly pull on the curtain and it'll automatically open or close for you. I love that feature. Ian, could you just touch on a little bit on the power of it? As I know they sell solar panels for these?
They do. Yeah, you can connect the solar panel to the back of it, or you can connect a USB cable to charge it from time to time. Now, since I haven't had it for very long, I can't speak to how long the internal battery lasts, but I think it's rated for around a half a year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and I guess it obviously depends on how many times you're opening it, but if you're utilizing it 3 or 4 times a day, then it should last quite a while, right?
Definitely. And it has a memory as well where you can set it to only open 50% or 75%, which is a really cool feature.
That's awesome. Hey, do you want to say anything about Switchbot? Hey, you love this company. Here's your opportunity. And
I know, right? Oh man, it's amazing. I think every product that they've created is a winner for me. So if you haven't looked at their website or you don't know about this company, please check it out. They have smart humidifiers. Honestly, you name it, they're pretty incredible.
yeah, do you know anything else that they're working on right now? Because I know they've got the curtain was fairly recent in the humidifier. I don't know if you know anything else that they're kind of testing right now, or
Nothing that I can talk about live at this moment. So we'll get back
okay,
to you on that one.
perfect. All right, and this is the kind of competitor to the Switchbot, and I don't want to give away our findings, but we did do a We Talk Tech that's coming out in February where we compare the Fingerbot to the Switchbot. But I mean, it's a great little device. It does similar things in terms of it pushes buttons, whereas the Switchbot, it kind of did a lever effect to push the button, and this one's more of a plunger, right? As you can see in the slideshow here. But so one of the things I really love about it is the toolkit. So you see some of the little red attachments at the bottom there. There's a suction cup and there's a ring, so you can hook it onto different types of light switches. But also the ability to be able to 3D print those arms to do whatever we need them to do. I think it's going to be fantastic. So we'll be getting those in fairly soon that we can use those with members as well.
Absolutely. I really like the toggle feature because that's something that Switchbot can't currently operate, whereas this thing, literally you peel and stick it, and so far very reliable, and the internal battery is actually pretty impressive. It lasts quite a while. I'm still working off the first charge here. So
Right.
yeah, I know Switchbot definitely has some competition, and that's the Fingerbot.
Right. One of the other things I loved here is the how it connects to the toggle light switches. It has a hinged arm, so it moves with the light switch, whereas the Switchbot had that, it uses kind of a fishing string to pull the arm back, which doesn't seem quite as robust for me, but I mean, it works. Ian, you were also mentioning the battery, and I know we had some thoughts around charging this.
Yes, I think that's the one drawback to this design is that the battery isn't replaceable. And so if you mount it to a light switch, you're going to have to run a USB cable to it or physically remove it off the wall from time to time. So yeah, I think that's the compromise that you pay for its compact size because it is significantly smaller than the Switchbot.
Right.
But a cool thing is you can run it, like you can have it plugged in, let's say, to a computer and keep it charging indefinitely and have it push let's say, the power button to turn your computer on and off. So in that sense, it's amazing. You never have to worry about it. It will continually work.
Right. Whereas the Switchbot does have that battery, right? So you can't keep charging it.
Yes. Yeah, you have to pop the battery out and change it well, depending on how often you use it, I'd say every 3 to 4 months.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah,
But
there's
very
upsides
cool.
and downsides to both this one and the Switchbot, but to get more information and to see which one we preferred, make sure you check out the latest We Talk Tech coming in February, and you'll also be introduced to Benson, one of our techs, and he's a fantastic guy as well.
Yes.
All right, let's move along. So Google TV, Ian, I'm going to let you take this one.
Okay, thanks. So this is again a relatively new device, and very simple. It works a lot like the Chromecast. This is kind of a newer version with more features. So it has a user interface with a remote. Pretty much you plug it into your TV, and the installation setup is really easy. And then from there, you can operate Netflix and all the other things, which is pretty cool. For accessibility, it does have some features for switch access and such. I wish there was a little bit more to it, but all in all, it's a pretty impressive device. It's the remote's great, the hardware is great. I think somebody, especially with the ability to use the remote, you're gonna absolutely love it.
And we so far we have used the original, not the original, but the Chromecast previous to this version with a lot of our members, and it's fantastic. It has a lot of limitations though. Like you could only really use it with your voice through a Google Hub or a Nest Mini or a Nest Hub. How else are you able to control this one versus the last one?
Well, on your phone, you can download an app such as Android TV and control it that way, which is pretty cool. A virtual remote on your phone. You can also use voice, same as before, asking, let's say, your Nest Mini to play a show on Netflix, things like that.
Cool. And that has to be plugged in all the time as well, right? Like the last one.
It does,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So very, very similar, just with a nicer user interface and a little bit more functionality.
Right. Okay. And let's compare that one to the Amazon Fire Cube TV. So Ian, you've got these as well, and you've been playing with this one as well. How does it compare?
I do. So this isn't a fair comparison because this has a lot more features. I think the Google TV is a lot more similar to the Fire Stick, but this is so much better. Holy cow! It has built-in infrared. You can control pretty much everything that you can do through your Google TV and more. The thing I love about it the most is voice control. I can literally say up, down, left, right, select, back, open settings, you name it. Everything is hands-free, which is pretty remarkable, and the only device on the market right now that I know of that works so flawlessly, frankly.
And you mentioned being able to give a voice commands. Now, say I'm in a guide of some sort and I want to continue going down. Do I have to say Alexa every time?
No, there is a setting where it will pause and wait for another command, which is nice because yeah, it would be very tiresome to say the trigger word down, like Alexa down, Alexa down. That would take forever. So it,
Right,
it does have that feature built in.
right, right. And you got to wonder if Google's working on a competitor for this one.
I really hope so because honestly, it's so true, right? Like this has such a great I don't know. It has such great functionality. I can't speak highly enough of it. The only issue I have is the microphones on the top are a little quiet, and because you have to plug this physically into your television, then it's usually sitting in front or beside your TV, which can make it a little difficult to speak to if you have, let's say, a movie playing quite loud. So that's my only I guess downside or negative, something I believe Amazon could improve upon. But I should mention you can also use something like an Echo Dot, which we'll speak about quickly here. That you can ask it to control the Fire TV Cube. Thank you.
Right.
So the device on the right, you can tell it from wherever it is in the house to control your TV through the Fire Cube. So it does work.
Just to follow up on that, Ian, the Fire Cube is actually an Echo as well, right? Like you can give it commands to control other smart things in your home,
You
not just the
can
TV.
absolutely,
Yeah,
of course, yeah. It acts just like the Echo Dot or the Echo Show with that those features. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
perfect. And so you see the other one on here is the Echo Show. And we've not only have we started using the Echo Dot, but we've also started using the Echo Show. Um, Generally, it gives you the same functionality, but there's a little bit more to it than an Echo Dot. Like you can see when you ask about the weather, it'll bring up a visual of the weather as well as telling you. Or I think you can even do Zoom calls on an Echo Show, can't you?
You can, yeah. That's a new feature.
So yeah, there's a lot more you can do on that one than you can do on the Echo Dot. But I guess it's just kind of what you need it for. And one of the things you might need the display for is the Ring doorbells.
Yes. So much easier to install. Holy cow. And just like every Amazon product, there are so many different types of Ring doorbells out there. So there's one for everybody. The device on the right hand side is the people. So you don't have to screw or hardwire it into the home. You just literally remove the existing people, slide it in. It's battery powered, easy to install, connects with the Echo Show. What else? You can use your Echo devices throughout the home as your chime. So if somebody pushes the button at the door, it will notify you through the entire home, which is a really cool feature. Yeah, yeah, they've done an excellent job.
And going back to the Fire Cube, you can probably also set that up so that if your doorbell is wrong, it'll come up on your TV as well, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's a great feature.
Yeah,
What
the
about
integration on these is incredible.
it truly is. Wayne, for the installation process, that's more in your realm. How easy is it to set up?
Well, these are the great thing about the Ring doorbells, as opposed to or in comparison to the Nest Hello doorbell, is that the Nest Hello doorbell uses your existing wiring in your home, or you can plug it into an outlet, which is it's not very convenient if you don't have an outlet nearby, or you don't want that wire sticking around outside, right? Um, so if you do have an existing doorbell, the Nest Hello works great. But we find that a lot of people don't have an existing doorbell, or they might be in an apartment complex and they just want one outside their door in the hallway. So either of these, or most of the Ring devices that you're able to either connect it to existing wiring, or they have the battery inside. It's just such a great feature, and they're so easy to install. You can buy little angle mounts, so that you can kind of have them pointed wherever you want. But yeah, they've really upped our game in terms of doorbells here at TFL. All right, so next we've got the everything doors. Yeah.
All the doors. Okay,
Yeah.
so the August door lock, I believe we've touched upon it in the past here. It's such a great company. I love the reliability rather. I love the installation process and the features. Like I think it's one of those devices that once it's installed in the home, you don't think about it. It just works. And a great feature, well, a number of great features. One, you can set it up in like a good night routine so you don't forget to lock the door when you go to bed. Another thing is geofencing. So when you arrive home, the door will automatically unlock without having to give it a voice command or tap a button on your cell phone. Third, you can give other people permanent or temporary access to your home. So if you have a caregiver that comes in at 8 a.m. Monday to Friday, you can set it up so that they have the ability with their phone to walk in without disturbing you. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, another great feature is that they sell a keypad for it that you can stick outside your house. And again, through your cell phone, you control all the pins from your cell phone. They're sent to the keypad, and then if you have a caregiver, you give them a certain key code to get in. So they don't have to go to their phone. They could just use the keypad, and you can update those keypads or those key codes whenever you want, right?
Yeah, and you can set up a voice pin as well. So let's say I'm in bed and I want to unlock the front door. I can ask whether it's Google or Amazon or any of these products to unlock it. It will then prompt me for a pin, a voice pin. Once I give it, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, then the door will unlock.
Right. And I don't know if you mentioned this, Ian, or not, but the newest version here is more of a compact design, as well as it doesn't require the hub, right? Like the hub's built into the actual door lock.
It is, yeah, which has better reliability in my experience.
Right. Okay, and then on the right here, we see one of our members using a door opener that TIL's installed for him. Nothing smart about this. He's using the fob that comes with it, but at TFL, we can always adapt that fob so we can plug in any type of switch. So it could be a sip and puff switch or a micro light or something larger. But we've also got the ability to use your voice or your cell phone now to open and close the doors. So we could install one of two devices either in the door opener header or somewhere in the house that connects to your phone. And then once that's activated through the phone, your door will open. Nice feature to have.
Yeah, and not to take too much away from our We Talk Tech episode, but Richard's involved in the application process, making it as smooth as possible. And yeah, it's a great program. I think anybody that lives in their own home should apply because it's wonderful. It's such a nice thing to not have to worry about somebody else opening and closing your door all the time.
Right. All right, and we're just going to touch on a couple things that are going on here at Technology for Independent Living. So, one of the things that was spurred on by our original talk here with the Disability Foundation is something we call We Talk Techs. And basically what that is every month Ian and I will sit down and talk about technology. So one month it was thermostats, and we had one of our members in there who's a guest, was a guest for an episode and told us how she used it. One month you can see in the top right there is Taylor, one of our TIL techs, and we were talking about light bulbs and plugs and everything you can do with those. He had some great thoughts on that. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And I think Ian, the next episode, like we mentioned, coming up is one of your favorite folks so far. It's the Switchbot versus Fingerbot. But yeah, it's been great fun so far.
It really has been, yeah, and I'm excited to Well, I shouldn't say much here, but I'm definitely excited about some of the other episodes that are coming in the next couple months. So, Wayne, what day of the month does Retail Tech air?
It is the first Thursday of each month. But if you go onto our YouTube channel, which you can find on our website, if you go onto our YouTube channel, you can subscribe so you never miss it, right? So subscribe, click the little bell, and you'll get an email notification every month as soon as it's ready to go for you.
Awesome.
All right, another program, Ian, you want to touch on the Simon Cox?
Absolutely. So the Simon Cox Student Design Competition's been running for 6 years. It's great. I think Wayne and I are both judges, but in the past it was just with one university with their biomed and engineering students. Now we're expanding all over British Columbia, and I'm stoked. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. The best part for me is the the creativity from the students. So we try to connect a peer, a member with them, give them a problem, and then let the students come up with a solution. And they're it these kids are brilliant. I don't know what to say. Like they have such creative and just such a unique perspective on how to solve an issue that every year is a surprise.
It really is. Some years more so than others, but yes. But the nice thing about our competition, as opposed to some others, is that we do reach out to our peer group for the ideas. So we want to solve actual problems that people are having. And it might be one person, it might be a whole group of members that are having the same problem, but we want to hear from our members and understand the problems they're having, or what in their home would make them more independent, and get the students to tackle the real issues.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's so true.
And so this is, Ian, correct me if I'm wrong, May 2nd.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
And
that's when the competition is being held. And this year it will be a virtual event, to my understanding. So it'll be a little bit different than previous years, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. And we have prizes for our what is it, three tiers?
yeah, there's 3 prizes. There's the Simon Cox prize, which is the first prize. Second prize is the Jeanette Anderson prize, and the third is the Terry LeBlanc prize. Sorry, Terry. And 3 people that have made a massive difference to our program over the years. So we're happy to honor them in that way. But we also have the what is it, voted on by peers prize, Ian, and can you kind of
Yes.
let us know how that might be working?
Well, it's still in the works, but for right now, I think we're gonna have a virtual session where people can join, possibly through pathways with IFRC, and that'll allow us to really showcase the projects and see, frankly, see what the peers think, see what they think will be the most useful and creative project of them all.
Yeah, that's the people's choice, and that'll be fun.
It will. It's always a riot.
All right, I think that's about it, Ian. We've covered a lot of technology today. There's our website where people can go for more information, but what we really want to do is if this is possible, to open it up and answer any questions that anybody has for the next little while. We've got another half hour, so if anybody has a question, or if they want to let us know how they use their smart technology, we also love to hear that kind of stuff, your unique uses.
Okay, do we have any questions?
If there are no others, this is Roy Ballantyne. Can you talk a little bit about solutions for tuning like a Rogers TV or Bell, one of their cable TV systems. I know you can turn them on and off with several devices, but I'm not sure how you can choose to go to different channels, CNN or whatever. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Of course, there are a couple of different ways of doing it. One is through a GAWA way, not to put you on the spot here, but if you have one kicking around in your back pocket, no,
I
okay.
don't.
What
Okay, that's
can you
okay.
say that again? If you can do it through a what?
GEWA, GEWA, and it's an infrared remote that you can connect a switch or multiple switches to,
Okay.
and so that's one option that works quite well. Aside from that, there's the Logitech Harmony Hub, which you can control some things, most things, with by voice. And the also really cool feature about the Harmony Hub is the app on your phone or your tablet. You can use that to act as a virtual remote. So instead of having to use a like the manufacturer's remote, you can just use your phone.
Yeah, the Harmony works really well actually for a lot of the cable systems. And there are some limitations. Like if you try and operate your TELUS or Shaw, you won't be able to do the guide so well. But you can name your channels, or you can say go to channel 225, go to ESPN, and it'll kind of do that for you. So there's some limitations, but you can operate it quite well. The nice thing about the Harmony as well is you can also control things like your Apple TV through it, and a bunch of other systems. I think even Ian, your smart home devices, right? You can link those in there as well.
You can, yeah, you can have it set for automation. So when you turn the TV on, it will dim the lights in the room, things like that.
Okay.
Great, thank you very much.
What about
Of
the
course.
Ian? Just to put you on the spot a little bit.
Sure.
What about the FireCube TV? Does that also work with cable systems?
Not as well. You are able to upload apps onto the Fire TV Cube or the Fire Stick, such as, well, in my area, Global TV. I can connect to that, but it is a little bit trickier to connect all of your local channels to the device.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think they support Rogers TV, which is the one I'm interested in right now.
Yeah, I think you're right. So Harmony Hub is probably your best bet.
Thank you.
Of course. Okay, any other questions?
Do we have any other tech we can talk about, Ian, while we're waiting?
Well, I think Roy might be trying to ask a question, but his mic is muted. I could be mistaken.
No, I was the one who was talking last.
I see. Okay, sorry about that. Other tech. Let me think. You're right. Something new. Well, new to me, I should say, is MISA for baseboard heat.
Yeah, the MISA is a smart thermostat. Basically, a lot of the big ones that we see now are, the Nest thermostats, the Google thermostats, the Ecobee. There's a whole bunch of them that are available, but they all work with low voltage systems, so your furnaces. Whereas the baseboard heating, there aren't as many out there, and I think Sinope is one, but the one that we use is MISA. It works really well with baseboard heating, and they also make them for in-floor heating as well. I don't think we've had a request for that, but in-floor heating as well, to be able to control that with your voice or your cell phone.
Yeah, no, they're a really nice device. One other thing that has been brought up in previous sessions is right, we spoke about the application process, but what's the usual turnaround time?
Takes forever. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, everybody. No, we can we can get out to see people pretty quick. There have been times where we get an application in, and up until, I want to say 6 months ago, if you were local to the Lower Mainland, we could get to you pretty quick within a week or two and have things set up. It was a little bit harder when you weren't local. We had to rely on either family members or OTs in the area, or we would come to that area every 2 months, for instance, which is a long wait. But now with the techs that you head up, Ian, the TIL techs, there's a group of 4 of them, I believe, and they do a great job. It's a quick turnaround. They'll meet with people on Zoom or telephone and just get a real good understanding of what they need. We'll ship all the devices up, and then the techs will have another Zoom call with the member to help walk them through setting everything up.
Yeah, I think it's pretty incredible how much we can do over Zoom and video calls nowadays, because in the past you would or I would phone somebody and try to walk them through it without being able to see the actual issue. And oh man, this is so much easier now, to better understand, well, for assessments as well, not just tech, but to be able to have a virtual tour of somebody's home and say, hey, what about that curtain over there, or your TV, or who is your current provider? Things like that make it so much easier.
Yeah, no, it's been working really well with Zoom. I don't know. I think we've been doing a pretty good job of that. Your techs have been getting to see people pretty quickly, and things are getting set up quicker than they were before when they had to wait for us to come out. So it's been a good bonus.
Yeah. Great. Well, if there aren't any other questions, thank you everybody for attending today. And yeah, if there's something that we haven't touched upon or you'd like a little bit more information about, then please reach out to us, til@technologyforliving.org, or you can visit our website, and all of our contact information is on there.
Yeah. Give us a call anytime. We love talking tech. Obviously, Ian and I do with our We Talk Tech episodes, but any of the techs here would be happy to help. So give us a call, send us an email, social media. You can find us in a bunch of different places. So thanks everybody for joining us. And again, thanks for the Disability Foundation for allowing us to come in and do what we love to do and talk tech and talk to you guys.
Yes. Okay. Bye, everyone.
All right. Take care, everybody.